Hey friends, I need to talk to you about a series that is beloved and I may be DNFing. So in September, I did a buddy read with Melinda at a Web of Stories of book 4 in this series. Melinda and I had previously read the third book in the series in July. And I, this fourth book, I was really just bored. And so I don't know if I'm going to continue at all. Maybe. I don't know. You'll have to help me out with this one. Talking about the Six Tudor Queens series by Alison Weir, we read Anna of Cleves, The Princess in the Portrait, which is the fourth book in the series and the fourth wife of Henry VIII. I so one of the things I love about doing buddy reads of historical fiction with Melinda is that she is a history buff. She was a history major. She knows a lot about the history of the royal family in Britain. I don't know that much about it. Um, so the historical looseness that Alison Weir takes in this book was a little uh, the first time it happened, I was like, okay, maybe that's because we need a plot point. The second time it happened, I was rolling my eyes. I'm like, really? Do we really need to do this twice to the same person who we don't know whether or not she ever did that? I know I'm being vague. I don't want to ruin it. It's the fourth in the series, but so the story is Anna of Cleves is brought to England to marry Henry VIII. He's recently been widowed by Jane Seymour. He has a son by Jane Seymour who is an infant, and then he has the two daughters. One, Mary, who is the daughter of the first queen, Catherine, and then Elizabeth, who is the daughter of Anne Boleyn. At this point, both Catherine and Anne have died, and Jane as well. So he wants more heirs. He wants to ensure his line of succession. And at the time, he had made his daughters illegitimate in order to keep marrying to get a male son. That's a known fact of his historical context. So we're on the fourth wife, who he only sees in a portrait before choosing her. And she comes over to England to be married to King Henry, and um, it doesn't go well. The marriage doesn't go well, doesn't last long, and it's annulled. Then we also follow Anna in the life after that annulment, how she's treated by King Henry, how she's treated by the people of England, what happens in her life, and through the death of Henry and the next um, rulers of England. So there are some plot points that, thanks to my history buff Melinda, uh, aren't true in the story. And when we get to the author's note, it's interesting how Alison Weir kind of rationale for using those plot points when there are parts of Anna of Cleves' life that were not included that could have been interesting plot points and have more historical accuracy in them. The second half of the novel, because I think their marriage was so short, it's a very short period of time in the book. And then the second half of the book is, I feel like, just news going back and forth of who's in power, who's in favor with who, what house she has and how much money she has. And yeah, it just, to me, it got boring. Which this is the first, I shouldn't say that. I feel like maybe Jane Seymour, I did get a little bored. But it's kind of disappointing because I really liked the first two books. And really, the topics that we cover in the second half are people's health, their purity, their loyalty, and questions of faith and which faith is in charge of, like, which faith is acceptable and who's being persecuted and things like that. So a couple of things that I've kind of already mentioned that popped up for me when reading this and kind of deciding if I want to move forward with the series, is I still really like the writing. And, I think Alison Weir is a very talented writer. Did each queen need their own book? I don't know. Does each queen need to be this long? My copy is like 500 pages, I think. 490 something. Do they need to be this big if there's not that much going on? And in the author's note, Alison Weir does talk about the timing of things and how she moved things around and scrunched time together, but it didn't feel like that. It felt like it drew out for a long time. I mean, there were parts where it said a few years later or a few months later or whatever that, but yeah, I came very close to DNFing this. In fact, Melinda finished this, I feel like, at least 4 or 5 days before I did, just because I didn't want to go back to it. We were at the same point. And then I just felt like I just couldn't force myself to listen to it. Because I did listen to the audiobook, which the audiobook's done really well. It's the same narrator for the series. Narration was great. I think one of the things that Melinda, my history buff, told me was that there was a deeper relationship between Anna of Cleves and Princess Elizabeth. Hi, Mabel. In real life, when Anna comes into the family, the baby son has caretakers that are taking care of him. And then the two daughters, Mary's a little bit older, and Elizabeth is, I feel like, 5-ish, that age range. And Anna wants to be involved in their lives, and for whatever reason, she's not involved in the baby's life because he's being raised to be a king. And she does form a relationship with Elizabeth, and she does, Alison Weir does touch on it a little bit, but from my understanding, it's a deeper relationship than Alison really gets into. So I kind of question that as well. We don't really see Elizabeth much. There's like a couple of meetings at coronations and funerals, and I'm trying to think of where else, like holidays, but there's not much depth to it. Like we hear Anna wants to be a part of their lives, but not a lot of that is open to her. Alison Weir, which I'm sure there is accuracy to this, it's up to the king whether Anna of Cleve can interact with his children. So that's kind of a questionable thing. Like what made Alison Weir go the way that she did with the historical inaccuracies and not with some points of Anna of Cleve's life that were seemingly different and more impactful than we're led to believe in the book. Like I said, the author's note is Alison Weir does touch on those topics, why she basically kind of took a rumor and went with it several times, and then why she kind of touched on the things that she did in the second half. The timeline is also things that she talks about. But for me, I gave it a 3-star, which I felt like that was kind of generous from my reading experience with it. If you're into this and you really enjoyed the previous 3, I would say go for it. Continue reading it. I don't know. Melinda tells me that wife number 5 was very controversial, and a lot of things happened in a very short amount of time with that wife. So maybe I shouldn't give up yet. I'm going to call it a soft DNF for now. Melinda is taking a break from the series, and I told her, let me know when you decide to go to book 5, and I'll see what I feel like at that point. If I do keep going with book 5, I will listen to it on audio. I do not own any more of them. I think the other 3 are on my Pango shop. This is going to go up on my Pango shop. I just don't need to have a 500-page book on my shelves that I didn't enjoy and may not continue with the series. But I will say, Buddy Reads helped me get through some of these things. And also, it was Series September. So this was the one series book I did for Series September. I feel like it should count for more than one book, but you know. And yeah, it's off my shelf. I got it read. And I had a good time with Melinda, just bantering back and forth about what was happening in the book and things that seemed a little far-fetched. Let me know in the comments below, have you read the series? What did you think of book 4? Do you recommend me to continue the series? Is book 5 as interesting as Melinda tells me it should be? We'll see. But yeah, that's the popular series that I think I may soft DNF at minimum. We'll see how I feel about it in another month or so. Thank you so much for being here. I hope y'all are ready for a great October of reading, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.